Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today we've got some very exciting news for Battlefield 6 in regards to the anti-cheat. Obviously, with all the hype behind Battlefield 6 with the multiplayer reveal just happening, us getting our first real look at gameplay here, a big talking point in the community so far has been, okay, things look very cool, things look exciting, but what about cheaters? How is that going to impact gameplay, especially when it comes to the free-to-play, rumored free-to-play battle royale that'll be launching after the game comes out on October 10th. Obviously, the multiplayer experience being paid and premium, that will deter some cheaters, definitely not all, but some, whereas a free-to-play title is always inherently going to have an easier entry for cheaters. So this has been a big concern, and luckily the devs have actually already addressed and announced some pretty cool things when it comes to the Battlefield 6 anti-cheat. So this is news that we got this morning courtesy of VG247, aka Video Games 24/7, I would assume. They say Battlefield 6 is the first Battlefield to launch with EA's new Kernel-level Javelin anti-cheat. So right away, that's good news there, Kernel-level anti-cheat. So the more effective way to go about it, Javelin, for the first time, they say Battlefield 6 is only the latest AAA multiplayer shooter to require installing its own kernel-level anti-cheat package. They go on to say Battlefield 6 has been officially revealed. EA spilled a lot of the beans as a part of the worldwide multiplayer gameplay reveal event, which also featured hours of live gameplay from hundreds of content creators. All that to say, most of the important details have been confirmed. That also includes specifics that have to do with the PC version of the game, and you can be certain not everyone is going to enjoy this news. Who's not going to enjoy it is the cheaters, the losers who are going to be upset that it's going to be more difficult to cheat on this game. There is grass outside. You could go and touch that. I feel like that'd be a much better use of everyone's time. So this article continues. Battlefield Studios has confirmed that Battlefield 6 will launch with the Javelin anti-cheat on PC, EA's own kernel-level anti-cheat program, which runs in the background to detect and prevent cheats. Javelin anti-cheat was given its name in April this year, but the tech has been around since 2022 in some form. So this is something they have been working on and tuning over time here, and it is going to be fully kernel level there, which is fantastic news. EA has already implemented Javelin in several of its games, including EA FC, Madden, the F1 games, and more besides. The tech then, also known as just EA Anti-Cheat, first arrived in a Battlefield game with Battlefield 2042's Season 6, so it only makes sense that the next major entry in the series would launch with it. Javelin Anti-Cheat will also be present in the upcoming beta, so it's going to be a good opportunity to test out the tech on a wide range of PC configurations. What's also important to note here, though, is the fact that this is going to be an open beta for part of it. Of course, there is the early access with the beta codes and everything, but open beta, so free to play there. That would potentially introduce the chance for the most amount of cheaters that we'd see in the beta, particularly in that weekend too, maybe once cheat developers have experienced some of the tech that they're dealing with. So that'll give us a real opportunity to see, okay, is the Javelin anti-cheat actually effective at stopping these? Is there minimal cheaters, or is it going to be a Call of Duty situation where, oh, it's the beta and there's cheaters everywhere? What's going on here, right? So really, soon we're actually going to have an idea of just how effective Javelin is, at least to start. We'll talk a little bit more about the devs specifically detailing the cheating situation and trying to combat it, but it is always going to be a cat and mouse game here, just a matter of how good is the cat versus how good is the mouse. VG247 also says the beta will also require enabling secure boot in Windows. Secure boot is a Windows security feature that itself relies on TPM 2.0, a hardware security feature that the vast majority of modern PCs support. The existence of the kernel-level anti-cheat in a major release is neither rare nor is it surprising. Even outside of EA's own games, many modern releases with core multiplayer elements rely on one brand of kernel-level anti-cheat or another. Vendors like BattlEye and Easy Anti-Cheat are some of the most well-known. Battlefield's major competitor, Call of Duty, has its own solution called Ricochet. Calling it a solution, I think, is a little generous. It is something that exists, but I don't know if it's solving anything per se. The idea of allowing third-party software anti-cheat services, in this case, to access such a low level of your PC's operating system, has always been controversial. The arguments against it are plentiful. It prevents most games that use it from working on a Linux and then Steam OS, for instance. It has, however, proven to be one of the most effective against combating many of the tricks modern cheats rely on. It's obviously not perfect, but it's become accepted as something you'll have to enable if you want to play modern AAA multiplayer games. So we have it official now. EA's Javelin anti-cheat is coming to Battlefield 6. There's more though that the devs have shared about their fight against cheaters, which is pretty cool. And by the way, as we are going through all the details, all the new info here today, if you guys enjoy the video, you find the info helpful, a like rating is always seriously appreciated. Really much love to all the support on the Battlefield content so far here in the channel. I really do truly appreciate the love. And then of course, if you guys are new here, you want to stay up to date with all things going on with Battlefield 6, obviously a very busy couple of weeks ahead, you know, with everything going on at the betas and all the news that we're getting almost on a daily basis here. We got a lot to talk about in the next few weeks. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications, and of course, help get us one step closer to hitting 1 million subscribers. Here's a new article from Insider Gaming though, detailing some more anti-cheat news. Battlefield 6 anti-cheat. To the day we die, we will be fighting it. So EA recently revealed the wonder that is Battlefield 6. However, players aren't just satisfied with the game looking and feeling good these days. They want to know if the game they're playing is safe. With that in mind, EA has confirmed that the Battlefield 6 anti-cheat measures are incredibly important, effective, and backed by the grim determination of all the teams that made this game possible. So this does sort of summarize the VG247 article that we just covered. Does Battlefield 6 have an anti-cheat? Yes. Eagle-eyed users recently discovered via Steam that it's going to utilize kernel-level anti-cheat measures. This was later backed up by VG247, which confirmed the Javelin anti-cheat is coming to the game. But here's where we get an actual address against cheaters. Basically, EA addresses Battlefield 6 anti-cheat. In an interview with Gaming World Media, Vince Zampella, CEO at Respawn Entertainment, spoke about the critical desire to stamp out cheating in Battlefield 6. And here's the quote that we get. It's a weird one because you don't want to talk about what you're doing. It gives people that are trying to cheat a head start against you. And this is the same situation that we've got with Call of Duty, where they are very, very ambiguous. They're about as vague as they can be when it comes to the anti-cheat updates that they give. They do not go into specifics. They do not detail things very much ahead of time. They're super, super broad when it comes to how they talk about the Ricochet anti-cheat, because they don't want to give any hints, any clues whatsoever to cheat developers. I mean, Call of Duty already has enough of a cheating problem. The last thing they need to do is help out the cheaters in any capacity, right? But this is a universal thing. You can't just openly talk about your anti-cheat, because the malicious people out there will try and use every little single thing they can do to help create that cheat based off the information that you're giving, right? It's a huge thing in the industry, in gaming, as I just said. It's a constant arms race that we're always putting a lot of effort into. Know that. It's something that we would stamp out completely if we could. It's just an arms race. To the day we die, we will be fighting it. Unfortunately, as anti-cheat engines become smarter, so do the cheat manufacturers. That's why Zampella means, that's what Zampella means by being an arms race, a constant one at that. And that's the sort of analogy I made earlier with it being a cat and mouse sort of situation where, yeah, you update your anti-cheat, you introduce a brand new anti-cheat, and then the cheat developers start to figure things out. And then they make cheats that are going to be bypassing the anti-cheat. And then the anti-cheat gets updated. And then the cheat developers update. And it's this back and forth thing forever and ever and ever. And that's very similar to what's going on in Call of Duty. But we have it official now. Full kernel-level anti-cheat, secure boot required for Battlefield 6. So hopefully, you know, with the beta coming up here in a few days' time, we're going to be able to see this, you know, right away. Is it actually stopping cheaters? Now, of course, this being a brand new game, possible it's going to take cheat developers some time to actually figure things out. So it might be really, really low at the start to begin with as is. And then, like I said earlier, maybe that second weekend, we start to see more things surface. Time is going to tell here, but nonetheless, some pretty important news when it comes to Battlefield 6's cheating measures here. That is going to wrap things up though. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to drop a like on the video. If you're new here, feel free to hit that subscribe button on your way out. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.